my friend.
Can't nobody do it like me. Do it like this. Do it like me. Do it like this. Do it like me. Do it like this. Do it like me. Do it like. Can't nobody do it like me. Do it like this. Do it like me. Do it like this.
Hey my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're not yet a beautiful butterfly, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you're not missing an upload every time I upload. How are you guys doing? Welcome to my new subscribers and welcome back to my OG subscribers. I've been going through some personal things, so I needed to take a break off of YouTube. I kind of am awkward on camera when things outside of camera go on in my life. Like coming back to the camera, I'm kind of like a little bit awkward. As you guys can tell, I got a new tattoo as well. I plan on getting more, but this is just so far of what I do have. This video is a story time, as you guys read by the title, that my friend liked my boyfriend. This has been causing a lot of controversy on TikTok when I posted it, before I went ghost a little bit. A lot of people has been commenting what they feel was right, what they feel was wrong. Like they felt like I was right in the situation. They felt like the friend was right in the situation. And I'm just like, it's kind of common sense. Once you become close friends with someone, you don't start liking your friend's boyfriend. Does that sound right? Like, my friend liked my boyfriend. I don't know if it's just some people on TikTok just want clout, but that does not sound right at all. I'm going to get right into the story. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. But it was middle school. Me and the friend at the time, we had the same group of friends, but me and the girl really didn't talk like that at first. We had mutual friends, but we would be like, you know how you have some people, you have a whole group of friends, right? And you have like the closest friend you talk to in that group, then you have a person, like, you know, if that friend's not there, you hang with them. Like, you have different friends for different reasonings sometimes. That's how it was. Like, we wouldn't talk really, it wasn't fairly close. I explained that in this video right here. My two friends in the group who I was friends with, like, I'll talk to one of them about certain things and I'll talk to the other one about certain things, but we was all tight, you know? You have like certain bonds with certain people. That's how it was for me. They introduced me to the friend who started to like my boyfriend. So me and her started to talk, even though we was acquainted with each other because we had the whole group of friends thing. Like, you know, we wasn't in the same class. So we started to become really close once we got into the same class. And we really started to talk more. We had like most of our classes together. My other two friends that I was friends with, well, we was both friends with them, but my two tight friends that I was close to at the time, they was in their own classes together. We didn't have the same classes. So it was me and the girl. So over time we became fairly close with each other. So we was having the same classes, all that, kicking it. Eventually we become tight, close friends, almost like best friends. I wasn't expecting it. Like, you know, it's something that you don't really expect like that to happen, and it just happens. That's how it was. After that, we was in class with each other, and you know how you're just like young and you just do stuff like this, like you write your crush's name onto the paper and all of that. At the time, me and my boyfriend wasn't dating. He was my crush at the time. She had a crush of her own. So we would talk to each other about our crushes and all of that. So that's what we did while we was in classes doing our work. I would write on my paper, oh, Mrs. Pena, because that was my boo's last name at the time. And she would write her boo's last name, like, oh, I'm Mrs. So-and-so, and I would be like, oh, I'm Mrs. Pena. And we would, like, you know, do little foolish stuff like that in class. Moving on, me and my boo at the time, I'm gonna give him the name Bottle. I'm looking at my perfume bottle. That's the first thing that I can think of. So me and Bottle started to date. How me and Bottle started to date was, I didn't even notice Bottle in the school at all. And how I started to notice Bottle was a different boy who I liked at the time, who wasn't like taking me serious. He started to date Bottle's ex. And so I was like, okay, since you're gonna date Bottle's ex, I'm gonna go after her ex. Her ex was Bottle. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna go after him. But I really started to like him after. And me and Bottle started to date. So me and Bottle's dating. Her and the friend that, like, my boyfriend at the time that I didn't know, she had her boo, but they wasn't dating. They was like messing around. At a point in time they dated, but I guess they like broke off or whatever the case was. I don't know. I wasn't in her business like that. I wasn't telling her too much. Like, you know, we would tell each other a little bit of stuff. Like, I wouldn't tell her a lot of things. Like, you know, because, like, I just, like, kind of had my guard up a little bit, but not really. I didn't notice any red flags. I would say I don't have any receipts like I normally do, because this happened in middle school. It was a while ago. I'm going to name her Pink. So, Pink wasn't giving me any signs that she was failing Bottle. You know, so I didn't pay it any mind. The only thing that I noticed was Pink would like Bottle's pictures on Facebook that he would post. And I would notice it. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, why is she liking my man's pictures? That's my friend. Like I said, we was all in the same group of like friends. Like, it was me, Bottle, Pink, and my other two girlfriends. And then it was like a couple of other friends, I would say. Like, it was a whole like group of friends. We was all friends with each other. So that's how it was. So she wouldn't give me any type of like vibes that she was feeling him while I was there. I can say, like, you know, because if I noticed, I would have been like, what are you doing? Like, why are you trying to flirt with him? Like, you know, she didn't flirt with him while I was there. I don't know, she tried to flirt with him while like days I wouldn't be like go to school, or like wouldn't be with the whole group of friends. Like, I don't know. But at the time, Bottle, he wasn't friendly. Like, you know, he made it very clear that he was in a relationship with me. He like respected me with that, and that's what I can say about Bottle. When we was in a relationship, we was in a relationship. He made it very clear to other females, even though it was middle school, he made it very clear to other females. People will call it puppy love. Even though it felt like puppy love, he respected me on that level. I respected him on that level. But we have petty little arguments, you know, kids. So I only noticed the Facebook thing with her. I haven't seen any messages between her and him. I don't think he messaged her like that, because, you know, like I said, Bottle respected me. He respected our relationship, to say the least, that I've noticed he did. Pink, she wasn't like, you know, she didn't mention to me like, oh, I need to talk to you. I just want you to know this, since we're friends, I do have to tell you this, since we grown fairly close to each other. Like, she didn't pull me aside to tell me none of that. How I found out was from my two other friends, female friends at the time. It was me, Pink, and the two female friends. So there was 4 of us all together who would really be together in that group of friends. Pink told my 2 other friends. She told her 2 other friends that she started to develop feelings for Bottle. And now, this is where I'm kind of confused, because you have a whole dude. You have a whole dude, okay? Who you're telling me about. You're writing his last name as your last name, saying, oh, I'm Mr. So-and-so. You're telling me how you're talking to me about him in between our classes, like the classes we do have. So they pulled me aside and it was like, oh, Pink just told us that she likes Bottle. And I'm like, no, she didn't. Like, you know, at the time I'm thinking like, y'all are lying, y'all are capping. At the time I didn't say capping, because we didn't know what capping was back then. But at the time I'm like, no, she didn't, y'all are lying. They show me messages, so I'm like, oh, okay. And it's her Facebook. She made a group chat between my 2 friends and her, and she excluded me from the group chat, because of course she had to tell them what was going on. And it's not like there was like different, like they was all having messages. Like, no, she made the group chat with just those two girls, and the message that I seen started off with something around the lines of, I have to tell y'all something, but don't tell Bri, like don't tell her. So, you know, they're like, oh no, we're not gonna tell her. Because at the time, me and the two girls was very, very close. They wasn't really close to Pink like that. They was more close to me. So the loyalty that they had for me was fairly higher than the loyalty they had for her. They told me ASAP as soon as it happened. The next day, because it was a weekend, they wasn't gonna see me, you know, that same day, because we live like far away from each other. And we took different buses at the time. So as soon as Monday comes, as soon as we get to the first class we all had with each other, little behold, she didn't come to school that day. And it's crazy because it's like around that same time, me and Bottle was going through our little ups and downs, like, you know. And Bottle, like, we had each other's like Facebook passwords, stuff like that. So we seen what each other was doing, we seen who was messaging each other, we seen all of that. I seen messages between him and Pink like a while ago before we started dating, and it wasn't even on no flirtatious stuff. I would have known, like, you know, I would have been like more alert and paid attention more if I seen something there, but they wasn't like on no flirtatious stuff. They was just like talking how they normally talk when we always around each other. So it was kind of like the last day of school. We want to fast forward there. I knew this information in my head. I knew it. I was trying to see, even at that time that I was like naive and I wasn't where I am today, mentally, physically, I still played it off very smooth. Confront the person ASAP. I didn't confront her. I wanted to see if she would tell me on her own, which she never brought it up. There was times we was together alone. She never brought it up. I don't, you know, again, she could have been scared too, but still, like, we told each other mostly everything, so I thought. She never told me anything, was still trying to bring up her boo, saying like, oh, you know, I really like him, all this. And you know, once you know something, you know how someone's already like lying, you just know, like, you know. There was times where I just wanted to just be like, I'm about to confront you, because like, you know, like, how can you, like, that's some snake stuff. But I was just playing it off so cool. But she didn't bring it up to me not once. And now, like, even thinking about it back then, I was just like, dang, like, you was really a snake. Mentioned to me not once. And you told my other two friends, but I gave you time to try to talk to me about it, and you didn't. Now I'm about to confront you about it. Last day of school come, it's me and my two girlfriends and Pink at the table. And you know, it was like free day, because you know, like, you know, it's around the last days of school, you don't do no work, you help the teachers clean the classrooms, you can go in different classrooms, go talk to your other friends, or we can just like, oh, I'm about to go chill here, I'm about to go chill here. Like, no, once you was in one section, you had to stay there until the bell ring, and then like it'll be lunch or something like that. But we was in, I think, the movie class, where they just had a movie up, and then they had some cards going on at one section. There was like cards, like, I don't know if it was like Uno or something. And then there was like a little art section. Me and my two girlfriends and Pink was at the art section, so we was just like coloring and stuff on our phones. So we started to, I don't know who came up with this idea, but we decided to play Never Have I Ever. You know, I'm here just like looking at her like,
You a snake? Oh, and I knew it. Oh, and that shit don't make no sense. Nonsense.
Still playing it off cool, still talking to her like everything is everything. And that's the thing, like, if I know something and you lying about it, and I'm giving you the chance to tell me the truth and you don't, and I already know in my head, That's gonna make me lose so much respect for you. I said something around the lines of never have I ever been fake and liked my friend's boyfriend. And as I said that, I'm staring at her while I'm saying it because she's like coloring, thinking everything is everything, everything's cool. Not really. I noticed this too. She's not really trying to make eye contact with me recently. That's another sign I realized. After she told them what she told them, she hasn't looked me in my eyes. So she's like looking down, shading in her artwork, and I say that, and I'm staring at her as I'm saying it, and then she stops coloring. She's still looking down at her paper, like, dang, like I'm caught up. Like, you didn't think they was gonna tell me? So that's probably what she thought in her head, like, oh, they're probably not gonna say anything. They told me. The loyalty they had for me was stronger than the loyalty that they had for her. She stopped shading in her artwork that she's doing. I'm still staring at her. I look at my two friends. They look at each other like, well, you know how you give that look to people when you know like something's about to go down or someone's in trouble? They like looking at each other, then they look at me. And then one of my friends is like, oh shit. So, Pink. I say her name though. I didn't say Pink. Pink's not her name, but this is what I'm calling her in this story time. So I'm like, Pink. And she looks up and she's just staring at me. And I'm like, so you like bottle?
Oh. These hoes must think I don't know. No. Hoes must think I don't know. No.
And then she looks at my two friends like that.
How the fuck this bitch find out? No. If I only told you, hoe.
And then she's like, no. And I'm like, are you sure? Because that's not what I've seen. That's not what I've been told. And she's not trying to look at me. And at this time, everything around me is just like going in slow motion. And my two friends is not even there to me anymore. It's just me and her. I blocked everyone else out around me. And I'm just focused on her. And she's like, no, I mean, I was gonna tell you, but I just didn't know when to say it and when to tell you. Inside my mind, I'm just like, for my earrings. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But it wasn't that serious because, like, you know, she didn't do anything yet. Because she could have, but she didn't do anything, like, too disrespectful where I had to do that. But that was still, you know, at the time, girl code, because it's like, I could see if we wasn't friends and you did something like that, then I don't, you know, I can't be as mad as I was at the time because you're not my friend, you know? You're just another girl who likes what I have. For me to be confiding in you, am I using that word correctly? Let me just say this. For me to be telling you my feelings towards him, for me to be like, oh, I'm Mrs. Pena on the paper, for me to just be talking to you about him, it's just like, it got my mind boggled. It's like, you liked him all this time. And I don't know if you were trying to play it off. And with all that being said, it's just like, you're my friend. You don't know who's looking at who a certain way. You just don't know. And when males be like, oh, you're bugging, this female don't like me like that, like, honestly, you're not a female. Like, I'm a female, so most of the times I know how other females are moving, how they can be. Like, you know, not all females can be like that. Like, some females honestly just want to be your friend and nothing more. But for you, for me to think that he was just trying to be his friend along with the whole other group of friends that we was involved with, I didn't think anything of it. Like, you made me be very blindsided to that. You made me just... Guys, I was upset. I was livid. She was kind of quiet. Like, I don't remember everything I was saying, but I started to, like, cuss her out. Like, da-da-da, you're mad fake. how you gonna do this, and you said that you had a whole dude that you was already supposed to be worried about. You said how much you liked him. Like, I was going off. I wasn't like being too loud because like, you know, I still have respect at the end of the day. Like, I'm not like, I wasn't like that, but like I was like going in on her, like, you're nasty, da 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 da, you're this, you're that. I don't remember everything I said, but I was mad. Like, you know how you just like kind of black out for a little bit and then come back. That's what happened. We stopped being cool. To this day, we stopped being cool. Um, After that, I noticed that she was still again liking his pictures, even like after me and him broke up and all that. She was still liking his pictures on Facebook. I unfriended her, all that, moved on from her. I was just done with her. Like, from that, I was just like, yeah, that was a learning experience. Cause who knows if you, like, I don't know if she would have did something behind my back, try to flirt, like, I don't know, like, you know. Um, but yeah, that was my story time on the time that happened where my friend likes my boyfriend. I wish I had receipts, but again, this was middle school. A lot of people on TikTok was agreeing with her. The friend, they was agreeing with Pink, which was really sus to me because like y'all are in the comments. I just know from that video I seen a lot of homewreckers that exposed themselves. Like, if you was agreeing with her, you are a homewrecker. Because she was my friend talking to me about her dude. I'm talking to her about my dude who I'm actually dating. And she likes my boyfriend. She liked my boyfriend. And y'all think that's okay. They was like, oh, you should have never cussed her out. Da 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 da. You're wrong for that. You did too much. Like, I was like, and a lot of people was like, y'all are homewreckers. That was her boyfriend. Like, a lot of people was agreeing. Most people was agreeing with me, but the few that was like in the comments, I'm just like, yeah. But you need to go look at the comments for yourselves. Something's not right here, but until next time, my beautiful butterflies, we will be back with more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.